A while ago, I had thieves break into my car and steal my CDs along with a few other things. Luckily, they were just in a case like this, and I had all of the jewel cases still. But is there a way that I could resurrect all these CDs using my iTunes Match subscription? This is what's next. So I've been a member of the iTunes Match program for several years, and the main reason why I did that was the fact that songs that I've imported from other sources, such as CDs, are stored into iTunes Match. And it's been one of those things that I haven't really used that often, but for a long time, with some of my older Macs, I would take the CDs that were in the jewel cases, put them into my iMac, and then convert them all, which would then get synced to iTunes Match. Well, when the CDs that were in the jewel cases here were taken from my car, I've been without them for quite some time. Now, it is true, I could play them from iTunes or now Apple Music, but I still have CD players, and I still like going and opening up my jewel case and looking at the liner notes and stuff. I'm a physical media guy. So it got me thinking. Previously in an episode, we went over this CD player. Is there a way that I could use iTunes Match to bring back the CDs that used to be in this case? As a side note, I'm doing this all legally. These are CDs that I have purchased, that I have uploaded to iTunes Match, and I want to get them back into here. At least some variation using blank CDs. So let's see what the process is like. The person who ended up taking my CDs probably wondered about my collection that I have. We have some Rush and Pete Townsend and Sting, and I think we even have some U2 in here. These are things that I listen to, and I'm going to let bygones be bygones. If they wanted to take it, great. They enjoyed those CDs. But really what I want to do here is to see if we can get iTunes Match to bring back the next CD, which is going to be Yes Magnification. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the search and type out magnification. And there we go. We have the album, and we are in my library. So we're searching currently in my personal library, not Apple Music, although we are going to try to attempt that later with another CD that I'm missing. So what I want to do is I'm going to go and select the album. And at this point, they're all in the cloud. So to start, the only way to burn is you have to, from what I've tested, you have to have everything locally. So I'm going to click the download button, and we're going to download all the songs locally on the Mac Pro. Once those are all downloaded, then what I want to do is I'm going to create a new playlist. So I'm going to create a new playlist, and you're going to see that it gives us the title of Yes Magnification, does everything for me. Here we are. It's down here. So perfect. We got Yes Magnification set. Now if I right click, you're going to notice one of the options is Burn a Playlist to Disk. So now that we're at that stage, let's take our CD, blank CDs that are right here, the HP Event, nice blue color. Put this back. And again, with this Yo2O, I'm going to go ahead and select that. I love that feature, having that eject button right there. I mean, granted, yeah, there's one there, but hey, I like little things like that. We're going to get this put back into the CD and close this up. We know that it takes a few moments for the CD to start spinning up. And once I feel like it's done, we're going to go ahead. Now it gives us this thing. It says, hey, you're inserted a blank CD. What do you want to do? I'm just going to say ignore for now. And I'm going to select Burn Playlist to Disk. And lo and behold, there are my options. So we are currently going to set it as the maximum preferred speed as possible. And we're going to do an audio CD. I'm going to set this to automatic with the gap between songs, and I'm going to include CD text. I do have some players that have that capability. And then I'm just going to select burn. You're going to notice over in the lower left it says burning CD. I wish that Apple would have put something up here to show the progress, but this is all that you get. And the advantage with the CD burner that I have is it has the flashing light so that I know that it is recording. So we're going to give this a few minutes and come back and test out the CD and make sure that it works. All right, we're going to go ahead and turn everything on. We have the CD here that we burned. Let's go ahead and throw it into the CD player, hit play. And obviously this is copyrighted music, so it can only play a little bit, but let's see if it works. And I would say that is a success. Let's see if I can get Collective Soul Blender recorded. So here I have Collective Soul Blender, another CD missing. And if I am in my library and look for Collective Soul, you're going to notice that Blender does not exist. So what if I went to Apple Music? And here is Collective Soul. I'll go into that section. I can look up all the albums right here. And there is Blender. So, hey, I might be able to get this back. So I can add the entire album into my library and download them. Once it's downloaded, I could go ahead and create one of those playlists. So I could say add new playlist. So there you go. You got the Blender has been added. So I should be able to go ahead and just record this to a CD. So I'll right click. Whoa, wait a minute. You're going to notice that the burn capability is not listed. So it is not possible to download something that is not in your current iTunes Match library, burn it to CD. So I'm kind of stuck. I'll have to look for it legitimately. I'll probably go to one of the half-price bookstores or used record stores and look for a copy that way. So while it's a bummer that Collective Soul can't be done, we do have magnification, and we tested the CD and it sounded fine. So I'm going to call this a success. I've resurrected all of these CDs already, minus this one, and there's a Styx album that I'm missing. So just like everything else, when you have a data backup, if you have CDs and you like physical media, iTunes Match might be the solution for you. I think it's $25 a year, at least that's what it was. So again, it's come in handy for me. Let's take it back to the studio for my final thoughts. You know, I can't believe that it took me this long to realize that these empty jewel cases could have CDs in them using iTunes Match. I did check my most recent renewal receipt for the iTunes Match service, and it was $24.99 or 25 bucks. If memory serves me correctly, it's been $24.99 a year since I subscribed to it when it was first introduced back in June of 2011. Just like any data you store on your computer, it's always best to have at least 2 backups of your information. While I no longer have the original iTunes library on my iMac G5, at least I know that all these CDs that I ripped are stored in iTunes Match, and it's available and it was worth the time ripping them to my local library. Now, the only thing I noticed is that Apple stresses that this is not a backup service, so keep that in mind if you decide to subscribe. Well, that's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you for watching. If you liked today's content, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And to stay current on future episodes, click the subscribe and bell notification icons. Feel free to watch one of my other videos either here or here. And until next time, I'll see you again for another episode of Hey, What's Next?